G'day,
Hello there.
I'm Aussie Robbo,
I'm English Gent.
and welcome back to a new episode where we are at Star Wars Celebration in London 2023.
Yeah, so our journey began back when our first visit in London 2016. We're now back for Europe and we're going to see what we can get done today. It's going to be a busy one. It's a Friday, it's day one, and we've got a friend with us. So, my first time cosplaying properly at Star Wars Celebration, and we've got the Lucasfilm panel we'd like to try and get into. We didn't win any lotteries, so fingers crossed, see how that goes. But there's also an Andor making of Season 1. Fingers crossed again. But this time we're going to go and give you, not show you too much detail about the stores and exhibits, we're going to give you an overview and then take you to the Celebration store for more merch. So we're here. This is not a seat for the panel. This is a seat for the access queue. So I've got access needs. So I came in yesterday, got my stickers for my passes. There's a separate queue for access people. This is a general queue, but our aim is to really head for the panel first of all, like the main panel for Lucasfilm. Probably won't get it, but anyway, getting here, bit of a nightmare. We're on the Jubilee line, and all week it's been saying that there's service on Good Friday. And I got there this morning via bus, and it's all been shut down until 2 o'clock in the afternoon for planned works. So that was a little bit of a fly in the ointment. So we got an Uber. Luckily, Uber was actually really well priced. It was 14 quid to do like sort of a 20-minute drive, and the driver was really quick. The traffic wasn't too bad. We got here so they let the queues. Well, the people waiting outside were allowed in at 8 o'clock. People have been queuing before that, even though they said they weren't going to be allowing people. And now we're in the access queue in the main hall, so we're going to wait here for another hour and a half, where they'll let us in at 10 o'clock. And then the plan is to head straight to the celebration stage and hopefully, fingers crossed, get a standby seat for the get a standby seat for the Lucasfilm, which is the biggest panel I think of the weekend pretty much, along with Ahsoka on the Saturday. Fingers crossed. So at this point it's 9:30. The doors open for everybody at 10. It looks like the Jedi passes have gone in because they should be going in just around 9:30. Fingers crossed. And we're in. So now comes the next task, which will be to try and get in the standby queue.
So just a bit of an update, the time is now 20 past 11. We got in at 10 o'clock. We were in the standby line for the Lucasfilm panel for the celebration stage, and we were close to the front and we were kind of hoping to get in. Unfortunately, no standby got through. The line getting into the celebration stage was late, so I don't know, it was about 10 past 11 by the time they got in, I think. And then we tried to get over the Galaxy stage, but that was also being told no standby at all. So a bit disastrous in the beginning because no Lucasfilm panel, so we were going to miss out on those trailers. But hopefully today we'll get a bit better and we'll see a bit more.
Wow. So where are we right now? So right now we are in the Star Wars Celebration live stage. This is essentially where you'll see interviews and random pop-ups. There is a schedule for the rest of the celebration, however today is unscheduled, so who knows what will happen. I'm suspecting at 12:30 when the main Lucasfilm comes out, that's where they'll start having surprises on this stage. So there's going to be some big surprises apparently. But you've also got loads of props, including a tank from possibly Rogue One, is it?
I actually thought in this room they would be streaming the live panels, because I think they're streaming live on the internet, but they're not streaming in here. So I actually expected them to be showing the panels in here. And weirdly it says Star Wars Celebration Live on the screen, but nothing's live. The time is now 11:30. We did miss the Lucasfilm panel. So I was hoping we'd come in here and see some of it on one of the panels, but it doesn't look like it's been shown in here either. So I'm not sure if they're actually screening any of the panels anywhere in here.
Wow.
So as well as the Rogue One thing we just saw, there is
Hoth. So you've got the Hoth battle sort of accessories and props and bits and bobs. Quite a nice setup, especially with the Tauntaun in the background, so some nice photo ops here. It seems to be quite a chilled atmosphere in this bit as well, which is quite nice.
It's quite crowded, but it seems to be you can get a bit of room to get photos around here.
What do you think, Chewie? I know. So this is quite cool. They've got like pretty much a full size, yeah, I'd say full size ATST, and the bunker over there as well. So you can actually queue and get your photos taken here, which might do later on. That might be worth a go.
Yeah, it looks like the queue is on the far side over there.
Yeah, it's right next to the Star Wars live stage. So yeah, quite handy.
So while Darren's continuing to take photos, I'm just going to explain. We're heading into the room where it's basically the exhibitor stage. So it's the Funko, Hasbro, full of all kinds of stores. We're going to find out what's in there.
This is going to be the Funko stand. This is one where up until I think around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the only access you have is if you've won the lottery again. We actually have got lotteries for one of the days, can't remember when. And then we've also got Hasbro, which we're going to go and have a quick look at over this way. We're only going to do like an overview today, but we're hoping to go into more depth over the coming days. So behind me here we've got Hasbro. They are sellers of Black Series, which we collect, and then there's Vintage and there's Retro. So Retro are the reproduction they're doing of the original trilogy, and also new projects. They're doing like old-fashioned 80s style, Kenner kind of style. You've also got all your things like your play props, so things like helmets, which I should be wearing one of the days over the next coming days. And then Black Series, and there's going to be a panel from Hasbro which will have exclusively first looks at new releases for both Star Wars and Indiana Jones, because it's under the Lucasfilm. But we'll show you that in the next couple of days as well. So next up, we've got the next big, I'd say the top 3 sort of exhibitors of toys is Lego. This is not ticketed, and it's a huge ass queue. I think they are going to reveal some exclusives, some early purchases as well, but we probably won't hit that this weekend. So next up, we've also got so you've got like lots of areas which are things like the live stage, etc. But you've also got a kids stage as well. So they have different activities that happen all over the weekend. There is a schedule, so you can keep up on what's going to happen in different age ranges, which is quite impressive. This is the first time I've noticed it big time. But it's quite an impressive sort of like area. I think we're too old. So next we have Pulse Gallery, which is actually somewhere we're definitely interested in looking later on. If we don't go today, then we'll do tomorrow probably. So they've got like some exclusive prints, also magnets, pins, really beautiful stuff. If you have a look at their stuff online, some gorgeous kind of retro, modern, all sorts. Everything you could desire to put on your walls. Probably won't be buying any large pieces, probably just some like some magnets maybe, but we'll see. Little Chew gets to meet Big Chew. So, Lil Chew met Big Chew, they bonded.
So we seem to have kind of wandered into like a section where it's like a photograph section.
No, so you've got the Rebel Legion, you've got the ones who represent the Mandalorians, you've got the 501st around here as well. So this is basically where you get all the best costuming.
I would have thought they had some like pamphlets on information about what they do.
They might actually have separate stands. They had, last time we were here, they had set pieces. So you could like pretend you're hanging upside down in the Hoth cave with the Wampa. It is. I would say they're all grouped together a lot more tightly this time compared to back in 2016 and 2017 when we were in Orlando. But they've got some really lovely pieces worth looking at, and the teams behind them are fantastic and dedicated. So always be pleasant, be kind. They're doing this for free. They're not getting paid for it. They've put a lot of work into it, and you'll get the best results out of them. So one of my absolute favourites from the original trilogy is Max Rebo, the Size Doodles guy. We've got an actual full-size Max Rebo here, so hopefully it gets a little bit of footage and photos. So a huge thing and part of Celebration is you've got all sorts of like toy sellers, but also you've got vintage toys, the originals being sold both boxed, loose, loads of things to be seen. So this one is Yub Nub Toys. I've seen them online, but I've never actually seen them in person. So we're definitely going to be revisiting there to see if we get any little bargains, any little things to sort of keep for the vintage collection.
If you wonder where they are, they're right near the Chicken Walker in the Hasbro section.
Yeah, which is another huge Chicken Walker. So this is the Rebels mural. So anybody who watches Rebels, they've recreated a whole section of wall, which will have basically a really decent photo op. So hopefully get that done. So probably the most popular store and stand in the whole of Celebration for merch is the Celebration store. So you could buy Lightning Lane tickets, which will get you straight in, but we're not. Well, essentially, it's like being at Disney. You've got like a fast queue, but then over to my left here, this is the current standby.
Hey, get out.
That's the current standby. I have heard that in Anaheim it went as long as like 5 hours. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like that here, because it goes all the way back there. So something you probably wouldn't expect to find at Celebration or a convention is tattoos. And here you can get some of the best Star Wars tattoos going in the world. Artists from all around the world have come and they've all got their own stands. You can book slots. They are going to be pricey, but you're going to get something to remember the day, definitely. But yeah, some really beautiful artwork here. Another favourite spot of ours is the droid build section, where you can see some of the most beautifully made droids and individual droids in the galaxy. So one thing I will say is the droid builders section is probably one of the busiest of the sort of like fan prop slash areas. Really long queue, but they've provided loads of sort of photo opportunities. So hopefully in about 10 minutes we should be starting taking some photos. Photo options we've got. It looks like so there's K2SO from Andor. We've also got an Ewok with the chair that C-3PO sits in and gets worshipped.
And on the far side, the main one we're waiting for is...
We've got two on the far side. One is the the hollow chess, sort of set piece from Millennium Falcon. And then the final one was...
the droid from Return of the Jedi. So we are essentially in the deep heart of where all the cosplayers and
the fans, yeah, the fan-built stuff, the charity work they do. There's loads of stands here. It's really nice to sort of see this sort of stuff, especially because they work so hard to get it all like done.
So we're just going to go for some food. It's 1 o'clock, probably the worst time to go for food, but we're going for it anyway. There's food courts on both sides of the centre. I'm not too sure what's on the other side yet. We haven't looked. We're just going to start looking now. There are also lots of stalls in the middle as well, like Subway, Chosen, which I think is like an Asian kind of food. Lots of Costa coffees and things like that. There is a pizza place, but not a massive amount of seating. So you're going to find it hard to get seating if you do get some food. So Dan, you've got the classic mac and cheese.
Classic.
Called the Annie, I believe. And I've gone for the Obi-Wan Kenobi or something. Which is basically a barbecue version with like hot dogs and crispy onions.
Just what Obi-Wan Kenobi likes to eat. Hot dogs and crispy onions. Yeah, this is, it's very cheesy, but it does kind of lend itself to being what looks like comes out of a can. There's a lot of it. How much were they?
That one was about $10.75. I think mine was a little bit more, and then the total was £27.80 or something.
Kenobi you've got in there.
Yeah, £27 total, 2 drinks and 2 mac and cheese. I guess there's a lot of stalls to try over the next couple of days, because it's going to be here a while.
So we may not made it to the Lucasfilm. However, we did get the news pretty quickly. We haven't seen any footage, seen a few shots, etc. But it's thrilling to hear that Daisy Ridley is going to be back. We personally love Daisy, and we want her to get a bit more of a fair run. And apparently there's going to be a whole series of movies, or a timeline of movies and projects which span from 25,000 years before A New Hope, or even before The New Hope. And then you've also got, it's going to go as far back as High Republic, Old Republic, and then there's also going to be the opportunity to see Rey and the new Jedi Order. That's really exciting for me personally. I love Rey, I love Daisy. I really want to see her get a bit more growth in her role, and introduce some more characters as well. Potential for other Jedis. But 3 film projects. So you've got James Mangold. James Mangold is directing a film about the first Jedi to wield the Force. You've got Dave Filoni, my man. He's making a film about the escalating war between the Imperial Remnant and the New Republic. So that's going to be like a cinematic event, which is based in the sort of Mandalorian current timeline. Which I think we're seeing a little bit of that coming to head at the moment with recent episodes with the New Republic. And then you've also got Charmin Obade-Chinoy is making a film set 15 years after Rise of Skywalker, and it's basically about rebuilding the Jedi Order. Exciting stuff. So you also have the cast of Andor discussing season 2. That's really cool. Looking forward to that, because Andor was my surprise hit of the year. And then also Ahsoka. So I believe a trailer was released for Ahsoka, and it also had basically the cast were kind of fully shown. I definitely saw photos and footage of Sabine Wren, who's another favourite of mine. If you've never checked out the Rebels series, it's worth doing. There's some really good storytelling. Yes, there's some filler, but there's some really good storytelling. But hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow we're going to change our plans of how we attack getting into the standby queues. We've heard some people have been getting success with standby queues in the live stream rooms, and we experienced that back in 2017 in Orlando, which was our second celebration. And it's not quite the same as being in the live room, but you do get to see all the stuff, and you get anything free, which is like posters, whatever. But also, it does have a really good atmosphere. Everyone's in there for the same reasons. It's a really positive atmosphere. Yeah, so we went for a different tack. We actually got in straight away into the Galaxy Stage standby, and also the access queue. Went straight in. There's dedicated seats, awesome. The only thing is you have to wait for about 45 minutes, something like that.
We got in there 40 minutes early.
And we watched the live feed, and it was awesome. We really loved Andor, so to get to see Tony Gilroy, Diego Luna and Kathleen Kennedy, and then the sort of kind of top people like the production design, VFX, etc., the composer. It was really interesting to watch, and we got to see season 2 trailer. So,
how was the season 2 trailer?
So, exclusive. Well, is it exclusive? Basically, originally it was going to be 5 seasons, I think. Then it's now 2 seasons or 3 seasons. I can't. 2. So they basically said that this next season is going to jump a year every 3 episodes. And I feel like we got a clip. I feel like we got a bit of that in the trailer, because you were getting to see each of the characters and more that are being introduced. It's kind of elevate and evolve. Characters that you saw living, down in the dumps in the first season, you're going to see them in different guises. You're going to see them in different environments, and it looks really exciting. I'm really, really, really sold on it already. And to hear them talk about it with such passion, I'm there. Hopefully everyone else gets to see the trailer soon too.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good to see the trailer. Really excited to see a load of the characters back. Very well cut trailer. Good to see Mon Mothma back. She was one of my favourite characters. And also Stellan Skarsgård, I can't remember what his character's name is, his assistant. I really liked her as well, so great to see those 2 characters back again. But yeah, not looking forward to season 2, even though it's going to be August next year, I believe, before it comes back again. But yeah, looking forward to it.
And yeah, it's the first time I've done something like this. Spent the last 2 weeks working on it. Yeah, it's been holding me.
So, Darren, what just happened?
So I was really pleased. So we watched the Andor, and fittingly they talked about the prison sequences of Narkina 5, and we've been members in a group rolling up to Celebration for the last few months, which essentially is called the running of the prisoners of Narkina 5. So it's called One Way Out. So if you've watched Andor, you know there's a particular chant they do, One Way Out, and yeah, that was really fun. I actually wanted to originally do that, but I wouldn't have got the costume in time. A lot of people were getting their costumes for AliExpress of all places, and they actually looked really good. I didn't realise there would be that many people doing it. It went on for quite a while, but it was so fun to watch. So now's where the fun begins. This is where I get into my element. We're going to try and get into the Celebration store, the Star Wars Celebration store, which is all the kind of official merch and theme merch. They'll have stuff for the 20th anniversary of Clone Wars, but most importantly, they're going to have Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary stuff. So this one's very exciting.
We've got the Ewok Village Terranium. I think that's about £90 or something. 70 or 80 pounds. Quite large. Well, I've got. This reminds me of going to football back in the 80s. Yes, I went to watch football. It's kind of like a woolen scarf with the logo for Celebration London. We've got the official mug with. I really like this design. I think I prefer it on a t-shirt though. And then the main artwork, key artwork, logo. My favourite trial. I haven't actually ever had one. Oh lordy. Max Rebo, 3 Kings Push. Oh my god, I need this so much. I want this so badly. This is 45 pounds. And then each of them individually. If you've got a favourite, each of them individually. Nice Noodles, Drip McCool, Max Rebo. They're £18 each. And but yeah, they're rough and ready, but come on. The Max Rebo plush, that's actually quite heavy. And next we've got patches, so Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary. Tatooine's Twin Sons. This is one I'm really interested in. So Blue Harvest was the code, the production code for the Return of the Jedi. I think these are about £10 each. Luke invaders lightsaber finale battle. Now this, we bought last time it was in London. We bought the set of glasses, which were really cool. These have got a more retro style to them. Reminds me of stuff you used to get with burger meals in certain burger places. You used to be able to collect them, or collect them at garages or garages. I think I'll be taking a set of those home at some point this week. We've got a really nice track top. Actually, it's actually nicer than I saw on the website. We've got again retro lining. That lining is like something you get on a duvet cover, like kids' bedding, Return of the Jedi bedding in the 80s. I think I had something, but I think it might have been not Return of the Jedi, it would have been Empire Strikes Back maybe, the official key art t-shirt. And then you've also got Return of the Jedi 40th, not so sure, that's kind of like a ringer top. This is something I really want as well. Anything Blue Harvest I'm into. Including, I think it's a t-shirt, 28 quid. Nothing says British fashion quite like a polo top. Very Fred Perry. Not my kind of thing. The embroidery on it is not really my thing. So the retro glasses, or as we'd say up north, glasses, they are £7. We gradually broke all the ones we used to have for the last one based in London. Try and be a bit more careful with these, using only for the best. Next up we've got kind of like a bowling shirt with the Empire sort of wall art. Iconic. The Return of the Jedi embroidery. Pretty plain, not something I necessarily get to wear much, I don't think. This is what a lot of people are here for, the wall of t-shirts. So you've got Skeleton Crew. Bo-Katan, Mandalorian, Clone Wars 20th anniversary, Ahsoka, a couple of Ahsoka ones. The mural from Rebels, the end of Rebels, which have actually got a recreation of it. That's the one I really like, the Mos Eisley canteen. And this is another one I really want, which is Blue Harvest. It had the tag Horror Beyond Imagination to try and get people off the scent by, essentially Return of the Jedi was a children's film. And they got people off the scent of what they were making by basically referring to it as a horror film. I really like that. Going with the original title of Star Wars Return of the Jedi is Revenge of the Jedi. This is one with Luke. Or is it the Emperor? No, it's Luke in his Jedi robe. You've got this, which is a bit more of a kind of a retro, almost like a coming attractions kind of t-shirt. Oh, cool, it's in Japanese. We love that. And then one I think that Rob's been interested in is the original art for Revenge of the Jedi, which actually there's a special figure in Hasbro we're doing. We'll show you that tomorrow. Kind of on the lines of Spirit jerseys, I guess. There's this Return of the Jedi long sleeve. One of my favourite colours is this yellow, like a warm yellow. But it's not the kind of thing I'd get much wear out of. Next up we've got kind of like a bomber jacket. There's a nice flash of colour. And then on the back, the Death Star. This would be quite good in sort of like fluorescent lighting. So like blue lighting. This actually looks better in person. So this is the Return of the Jedi 40th cap. One size fits all. Old Droopy there, better look at him. So next up we have this. I actually didn't like it on the website. I actually thought it was going to be a fleece because it was hard to tell from the art because it was just a flat art, not a photo. But it's basically like a windbreaker, sort of like a lightweight, possibly waterproof, but quite a nice sort of design on it. Very shiny, very light. One you could like scrunch up and where else? It's got the 40th logo on it.
So over from where we were earlier on this morning, which was the kind of the main big names exhibitors, we've also got a few. I'm doing this with it. We've also got the other exhibitors in this hall here, which is directly opposite. So this has got things like gaming and comics, I think, as well. And then there's also one of the sponsors is Citizen Watches. So they've got ranges of watches that are available, which you can buy already on their website, but they've got ones which are specific, I believe, to this. And then behind that, you've got all the actors and the autograph section. Yeah, so photo ops and signings. So you've got like a considerable amount of space taken up in here purely for people who've pre-booked, or actually some of them are buying on the day with cash. Quite a few sold out. So people like Ewan McGregor, most of the cast of Kenobi are there. And some old school people from the original trilogy, which is really cool. And Mandalorian, they were all cancelled for today on Friday, but they're going to be over the weekend. They're going to be appearing, so that's really cool. We've decided not to go for any signings or photographs. We've done it with Mark before in the past. We've met Carrie before she passed away, sadly, and that was enough for us. We met our heroes, and they lived up to it. So hopefully, if you're doing it this weekend, they live up to it for you too. So you may be wondering about the puppet, or I like to call Muppet. So I've ever since we started going to Celebration back in 2016, 2017, I just came up with the idea then of, I'd love to have a Muppet version of Chewbacca. And I decided to pull my finger out and do it this time. In typical fashion, I left it till the last 2 weeks before Celebration, and this was the result, and I was really pleased with how it came out, and it seemed that lots of other people were too, which was lovely.
So it's getting towards the end of the day, but I needed a drink and something to eat, so I went back to the falafel, halloumi and chicken stand and had a halloumi wrap, and actually that was actually really good, really good. The macaroni cheese was okay, the mac and cheese was okay. I'd probably give that maybe 3 shrimps on a barbie, but the halloumi wrap was a lot more decent. I mean, these are stalls where they're obviously very limited with space and limited with what they can actually cook or produce, but the halloumi wrap was great. I would give that a solid 4 shrimps and a barbie, almost 4.5. So definitely give that as one of your options if you are going to grab some lunch in Celebration over the next couple of days.
So Darren, you had the mac and cheese as well. You had the plain mac and cheese. How was it for you?
It was very cheesy, but it did taste like mac and cheese from a can. Just a lot of it. It did the job, but for what was it, about £10 something?
Yes.
Yeah. I would give it 1.5 Kenobis. Yeah.
I mean, I gave it 3 based on the fact that it was a market stall and obviously they had limited resources.
Yeah, you had a bit more in yours though. I think I was playing it too safe maybe. But yeah, not impressed. But we've got loads of other options to try over the next 3 days. So it's the end of day 1 and it's been quite an exhausting day. Highs and lows, but mostly highs. I will say that if you're going to do cosplay and if you want to get the best out of cosplay, do something that people will interact with. What I've discovered today is that everybody loves puppets, and we've met some of the most amazing people and introduced them to both our channel but also our Instagram, and we've been introduced to theirs and their businesses. It's been great. So yeah, that's one tip I'll say. If you're going to do cosplay, do it for fun. Do it like so you can engage yourself and make everybody smile a bit. What else? We didn't get everything we wanted. You never do at Celebration. It's a bit of a betting game. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll make some better choices. Maybe see some of the actors live a bit more, including the Star Wars live stage.
It was good. Yeah, it was obviously very frustrating in the beginning this morning. But we got a lot more proactive in the afternoon. It did get very clustered in there. It gets very jam-packed, so just be aware of that.
Saturday is definitely going to be a really, really busy one.
And Sunday.
Sunday might be a bit easier, but yeah, Saturday, if it's anything like today, it's going to be crazy. And they've definitely oversold it, so be prepared. But there are spaces to go and sit and relax and switch off.
But let us know how your celebration experience has gone.
So thanks everybody we've met today. Hope you're watching today, and you'll be following us again for tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it's always appreciated. And you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram under the same name as our channel.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time. Bye bye.